Good morning from Scotland's National Bowling Centre for the penultimate day of the National Championships. Thanks very much for joining us this morning on the Bowls Scotland socials. We're about to embark on a superb day of bowls in South Ayrshire with gents, ladies and youths matches being brought live to you among all the matches being packed into the schedule throughout the day. Later on we'll have Gilmerton's Emma Mitchell against Northern's Chloe Stewart in the ladies singles semi-finals. That precedes Shettleston's Abby Harris against Yoker's Robbie Earl in a youth singles match. But first, about to begin, is the gents pairs quarter-final with Ralph and Liam Nicholson of Gala Waverly against Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri of Hyndland. They're with me now. Father and son duo will come to you first. Ralph and Liam from Gala. Quarter-final stage, you must be looking forward to this, Liam?
Yeah, definitely. It's the first time I've been here for a couple of years, so looking forward to it today, and obviously getting through to the quarter-finals, it's happy days, and we'll see how we go just now.
Ralph, we were just having a little chat there. The conditions seem to have held out pretty well, dry. This is the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easier to play in nice weather than in pouring rain. It's same for conditions for us both, so just with the best team win, we'll get on with it.
Up against Stephen and Ryan from Highland. Come to you, Ryan. How do you feel ahead of this quarter-final?
Yeah, feeling good to go. Just looking forward to getting out there and getting the game going. And as Ralph said, just may the best team win and best of luck, boys.
Stephen, quarter-final stage. There's plenty more bowls to play. How do you feel about getting this far already, and where do you expect to get to?
Yep, absolutely delighted to get this far. Was here last year, managed to get to the semi-final, so hopefully do the same again. But as we've all said, hopefully the better team wins on the day.
Well, good luck, gentlemen, and this is the first of 3 live matches being brought to you on the Bowls Scotland socials throughout the day. So to get underway, we'll throw to your commentary team of Colin Noon. But first, Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Andy. Good morning, everyone. There is looking beautiful this morning. We're at the home of Bowls Scotland. 2 clubs here, Northfield Bowling Club and Newton Park Bowling Club, possibly the 2 closest together clubs anywhere in Scotland. Colin Noon is alongside me, a well-kent voice on Scottish Bowls. And Colin, the players just having a little word with Andy there. You just want to get started, you want to get that trial in moving, and you could just sense, if not nerves, you could sense the anticipation between the players.
Yeah, of course, they'll be keen to get going. It's a big stage, that we expect some crowds to come in a bit later. It's maybe a bit early for some people at the minute, but it should be a good game. Both good quality pairs, and they've done a great job getting here thus far. It's a long route to Northfield, and there's never any easy games once you're here.
So father and son pairing from Gala Waverly, Ralph and Liam Nicholson. Father skipping and son, beg your pardon, father leading, son skipping. It's usually the other way around that you find, but they're comfortable in how they go. I'll run you through the details of their previous matches in a moment or two, but when you play a trial end, what are you looking for out of your bowls, Colin? What are you trying to get out that rink?
You're basically trying to find line and length, really. The greens here will change pace, even during a game, to be fair. But and each of the 5 greens at Northfield do play at a different speed. I think it's accepted that they're probably not the quickest in the land, and maybe a bit pushy. So the guys will definitely be trying to get a feel for the surface, understand the pace, but just as importantly, the lines are really important to them. Throughout the match, you may even see a couple of bowls here that are played with a little bit of pace, just to understand what a bowl does with a few yards of pace. But not for everyone. Not everyone tries that. But let's see what the guys do in the trials here.
Yeah, just trying to get a feel for how the green is going to run. They've both played a couple of matches on different greens, so you're just trying to get a feel for how it's going to go. Trying both sides of the rink as well. Stephen looked like he'd put a little bit more effort into that. He just wanted to finish behind, but pulled up just a little bit.
Yeah, as I said earlier, the greens here they're not the quickest. The rain hasn't helped. It's slowed them down. But there's a consensus that they're probably improving as the week gets on, and the more play they get. All playing with different balls as well here, so the line is often unique to what you're playing with.
So that's the job of the leads out the way for their trial end, and our skips Liam Nicholson and Ryan Galtieri will wander down.
Yes, but that's not technically long enough if you want to.
It's always interesting to watch how far a player goes up and watches. They'll watch intently and then get the message from their lead exactly where they are. Tell you what, Liam's quick off the mat then. We'll see if that happens during the game, certainly off the trial end, just wanting to see where he wants to go. Other matches, of course, being played on the green at the same time. Been plenty of good games this week. Plenty of celebrations as well. And the paraballs and more. What a great shot that is. Gonna love the sport of balls for the intense concentration, then the celebrations as well. So it's been a busy old week here at the National Centre for Bowls in Air for Bowls Scotland. And the crowds, as Colin mentioned, just starting to come in, early doors here. We're going to be watching Gala Waverly against Hyndland. The other quarterfinals, Bogley against Slateford, from Edinburgh Whitehill against Eastfield, and our Drossallness against Stanley. And these are big games, Colin. You're 2 steps away from a final and a potential, national championship. You got to work hard to get here. I mean, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't necessarily realise how difficult it is, to come through your club, to come through your district, and then you meet the best of the best.
Yeah, it's a tough old route, and obviously, for the winners, then those who ultimately lift the title here, then there's another stage, because there's a British Isles in 12 months' time. So they get the opportunity to represent Scotland at that competition and potentially lift the British Isles title.
So the second trial end ongoing. As the morning goes through, we'll have a look at the deliveries of all the players. That's one of the joys of the sport of bowls. These players can deliver in so many different styles.
That's great on the grass, Stixie. And Sheila had one as well at one stage. And what she did was
Hi there. My name's Andy. I'm doing the emceeing today. I have to keep an eye on this match because this is the one being broadcast on the streaming services at the moment. So are they at the moment? They're just testing the yeah. Right, okay, good. Because I thought the play started on the other the other courts and rinks just now. Yeah, so I was wondering why they were moving the balls around with it.
So while we get ready to watch the gents pairs quarter-final between Gala Waverly and Highland, 2 o'clock this afternoon, Emma Mitchell against Chloe Stewart in the ladies singles. That's the semi-final. That will be a cracker. And then junior singles, and as part of the round robin stage, we'll see Abby Harris taking on Robbie Earl. That's what's ahead here on the live stream. Plenty of action going on round these greens. We'll keep you up to date with the key games as we go along. So there's been lots of great action going along from here. Let's get some reaction from the play that took place earlier this week.
Absolutely, beyond belief. Beyond belief. It's always been a dream of mine. I've won the bronze medal before, the silver, to win the gold. Won my wildest. I can't get my words out.
You've just seen two brilliant wins today, obviously beating Margot and Paul from Troon in the semi-final, and then commanding score in the final there, so you must be delighted with that.
Yes, we are very delighted. It was a real achievement today, and I had my orders that we'd got to get the gold, so he's already got the silver and the bronze, so he needed the gold, so that's what we did.
I couldn't have done it without Tris. Our leading was tremendous. I mean, I've only played with Tris 5 games because she built in at the semi-final stage of the district, so it was tremendous leading all week.
Well, and you, especially today.
A fairly local club, obviously, in Eaglesham, not too far here from here, so what's the support been like from the club? Either people here or back home as well?
Yeah, very good support. They're all over the place.
Big thank you to them. Yeah, big thank you to everybody who's come to support us.
Alan, the week isn't finished for you as well. You're still obviously in the gent singles, so this must give you confidence going into your next games and that.
It's every game's hard. It's hard for the greens are quite tricky, so it's just all about getting your weight, and hopefully I'll be there tomorrow or thereabouts.
Perfect. Well done, guys, and best of luck for later in the week, Alan.
Thank you very much.
Well, it was a great win for Eaglesham in the mixed pairs. Certainly celebrated at the club as well. Memory making stuff. It was nice to see Alan had a little bit of trouble with his words. He didn't have many trouble with his bowls, Colin, but he had a bit of trouble with his words. It's nice to see that, it's something different as well for him. I'm not sure he wasn't expecting the interview, but he did it with a smile.
Yeah, Alan's got a great record here. I don't know how many times he's qualified, but to get a bronze, a silver and a gold, and to still be involved in the singles this week is tremendous.
Yeah, good player. Can players thrive in this atmosphere? It's the National Championships 2023 Gents Pairs quarter-final. Gala Waverly against Hyndland, and there's Ralph Nicholson from Gala Waverly. And his son Liam at the other end, a little bit longer than perhaps Liam was looking for. Pretty much dead centre, and we will get this Gents Pairs quarter-final underway. The first thing you notice is a nice wide line. So Gala Waverly with the red stickered bowls, and Highland are in the blue. The pale blue bowls of Stephen Borthwick. Just dropped that one pretty well short. There's the overcorrection, and that one is lost to the ditch. The first toucher of the match. Stephen struggled with these first two. He's trying to call that in, but it's still short.
Yeah, Stephen just fishing around for weight there. His lines are actually very good. So let's see if he can correct with this last one. Ralph, on the other hand, he's got a couple in there, and he'll be happy with that.
Oh, it's beautiful, just slipping round. Probably wanted it to run on just a tad. That's a good opening end. Well, if you're going to throw 3 balls without the correct weight, pull it out with your 4th. That's an excellent shot.
Yeah, that's perhaps why you get 4 balls, Paul.
Quite like 3 ball pairs. It stops people doing things like that to me.
Liam really quick off the mat here. He's not messing about. He's attacking this down the forehand.
Yeah, it's an interesting shot. He's got his own 2 to come into. He just tried to promote. What if Ryan will try the other hand? Could try and come in narrow. Well, if you're new to the sport of balls and just with us today, we'll keep you hopefully well apprised of what's going on. Any colour of balls acceptable in the sport, including white. Just a little bit narrow for what he was looking for. Hasn't changed the shot of Liam, looking to promote the 2. A little bit unlucky there, just didn't quite get the result, Colin.
Perhaps he's perhaps opened it a little bit for himself. He looks like he's trying to come under there and try and take the jack all the way to the ditch. So quite an attacking start from Liam.
As you can hear, the wind starting to get up. It's just going to get caught on his opponent's ball, so the shot is still there.
Just overcorrected there.
Certainly looks like he's closed off the other hand, so I think there'll be a switch here.
James, can you hear me?
It's interesting, Colin, that looks short out the hand, and yet didn't really fall as short as it looked like it was going to.
Yeah, it did run on. It'll be interesting to see what Liam does here, because there is a risk to this shot now in that he overplays it and he comes off his own front one and takes away the jack high one on the right hand side as you look at this. And he could find himself 3 or 4 down. I suspect he'll temper the weight a little here. Yeah, and he has.
And he comes, and that, well, not quite what he was looking for.
Ryan may change and go into his backhand here and play probably what's a safe shot down the backhand side. Card 1, move on. There is a risk on the other side that he gives it away, so let's see what he chooses to play.
He certainly played under what he was looking for, but the weight certainly, as you suggested, wasn't there. I think he'll take the single and run. And the opening shot of this Gents Pairs quarter-final goes the way of Highland. They take the lead by 1-0. Expect the first end or two to be just that little bit looser, but what we will see as this game progresses is things will tighten up. It will go full length. Hyndland leading by 1-0. Stephen Borthwick still struggling for his line, 1 out of 4 really on the last end. Just a little reset there for Stephen.
agreeing every time. Make sure they've got it right.
Interesting that Leeds have chosen different hands to lead on coming this way. Paul, normally what you would find is one follows the other.
Certainly Stephen seems to be playing slightly outside the weight, whereas there's another good ball coming in from Ralph. And really there's nothing on that hand, so he really has to keep on the hand that he's chosen.
Yeah, I think given time, if this continues, then Ryan will change Stephen onto the other side, but he'll give him some space at the minute to try and find it. There's that correction. That's in a good home.
Just played a couple of good balls, but he has to change his hand here onto the forehand. Try and get something in, make life more difficult for Hyndland. If he was going to miss, you wanted him to miss on the other side.
Yeah, I'm sure Liam would have liked him to be just, just beyond the jack there, but that would have been the positional ball to play. But not easy. Change of hand, change of weight.
There's a good view of what it looks like from the mat. Actually, it looks nice and open for Ryan.
You can see Ralph just planting his foot to the left as you look there. That's where he wants Liam to be. Probably ideally somewhere over near Stephen's ball that's quite near his feet as it sits.
One of the quicker deliveries you will see.
No, he doesn't hang about, does he?
It's quite incredible. Not far away either, just wanted the other side of the blue ball.
Yeah, he'll be reasonably happy with that. It's mixed up with the three blue balls that sit there. Or at least the three blue stickered balls.
Yes. Well, it's nicely mixed at the back at the moment.
Liam would love to tuck this jack away here if he can. If he can just get to it on the forehand side.
Certainly a couple for Gala Waverly. 2 balls each to play.
Interesting line here. Got it, I think.
Ah, it's nicely played. Well, there's more than one thing can be true. Gala Waverly, I think the Nicholsons would be disappointed that they didn't manage to hide the jack a little bit better and take away the shot, but they didn't do so. And it's now blue lies with the advantage. Also bowling offline, so to speak, with the jack being moved. So you're looking at a slightly higher line. Just wondering about the territory, whether you're going to come back.
Do you know if his weight's good? He's drew this year.
That's an excellent effort.
Just
He does have the advantage of last ball, and that's certainly a good sight for him. The teamwork between the two, Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri. Ryan has the shot decision as skip, but he'll take into account the thoughts of Stephen. Certainly the backhand looks out of commission, unless you're going to play it really neatly. Just trying to come in.
He's trotting after this, which suggests he likes it.
Oh, that's nicely done.
Guarantees 2, I guess.
Well, if there's one good thing for Liam, there's certainly shot options here for him.
No, and we won't have to wait to see what he's going to play here, because this will be quick. Or not.
He's decided to give that some thought. Doesn't like what he sees.
I think he's just been disturbed by someone walking across the back of the rink, Paul.
And catch your eye. He did the right thing. Pop the ball down. Start again.
Let's give this a chance. Very close now.
Where's the movement on the jack?
Just.
Well, it's not worked for him, unfortunately, because that's the blue stickered ball of Stephen Borthwick.
Yeah, he was very unlucky there. If he'd caught it just on the bottom side, he was probably scoring 2 or 3, but he may well have lost the 3 there.
Well, just a little bit unlucky sometimes. He was up where he wanted to be, just sliding by and not sticking with it. Just fine margins. So setting the jack.
The score after 2 ends is 4-0 to Highland.
So confirmation that Highland scored the 3, which is what Colin suspected. So to make matters worse, you've actually given away a shot as well. It was unlucky he played the right ball.
He played exactly the right shot. He was probably just unlucky. He had many chances coming in there with a couple of feet of running. So yeah, unfortunate. He won't be too disappointed. It's only one worse than he was lying when he went up. So, and it's early days.
Well, Stephen certainly seems to be happy at this length. That's the best 2 opening balls he's played. Cutting under the line. Good pace here, doesn't really want to disturb that too much.
Yeah, he probably just got away with one there, to be fair.
Yeah, on another day he nicks that and the jack just springs out to the side and his good work is undone. Well, that's pretty good leading from Stephen Borthwick. Ralph Nicholson with his final ball at the end.
He's still just under this.
Landed in not too bad a place in the end, but certainly not ideal. He's come underneath with all the balls.
Yeah, he's given Liam some play with that at least. You know, so if he does manage to squeeze the jack through, then it's a little bit more mixed than it was.
So Ryan Galtieri, the white balls up very quickly to the mat. Both skips, very quick deliveries. Doesn't want to knock that too far. It's not time to get worried, but there'll be mild concern. You don't really want to lose this end and just start to slip further behind. rest on his opponent's ball.
Yeah, Liam won't be unhappy with that, because that again gives him a little bit of play. He can play with that kind of weight and play it fearlessly, I guess.
Well, Skips can always claim they needed a back ball. It's always the out.
Close here.
That's well played.
And the tables are turning quickly here, because that blue stickered bowl in there now looks a bit lonely.
I guess from Ryan's point of view, the good thing is the hand's open. There's not a lot to clutter him up. He can still play his shot.
Yeah, he can play it with some confidence. Even if he does sit his own, he's no worse. Still has a lot of good back play also, so he can play this positively.
He's played it, he's looking for it. Just gets a little deflection and comes through. Well, he won't be unhappy.
No, he won't, because the ball that was previously looking quite lonely, he's replaced it and it's now quite hidden. But still a chance for Liam down the other side. Turn his own, underneath, turn the jack.
It's always interesting to watch players walk back. You just wonder at what point have they made that decision. You know, you've got to make the decision on the shot that you want to play, and don't put yourself in doubt on the mat. But the problem is, Colin, sometimes it just looks so different from the mat.
Yeah, I think that the backward walk's probably a traditional thing for bowlers, and I think you're trying to visualise what you're going to play, and whilst there's a physical aspect to this game, that there's a large part of it which is mental, and visualising the shot and knowing what you're going to play, making your mind up. If you go to the mat less than 100%, then you're setting yourself up to fail.
That's well played. Certainly looking on. It was a great ball from Ryan Galtieri. His opponents have right to reply, but that is so tight. Well, he's under where he wants to be. Well, it's a good end in terms of, switching one to the other. And we saw, attack, trying to defend what you had, but it's been a good turnover again. It's been a nice little run in the opening for Hyndland. They've won the opening 3 ends, take a single there, and they lead by 5-0. And that's the beauty of the sport. You're probably envisaging there, you're picking up a couple, you're 4-2, you're just, getting yourself on the card. All of a sudden, one good Skips ball.
Getting off to a good start's vital. But it's a long game, 17 ends, it's a long way to go. The tides can turn, the green can change with play, weather, many factors that can turn games. So it's early days yet.
Yeah, you rarely meet a bowler that doesn't have a story about either it was up by a pile and lost, or it was down by a pile and came back.
Yeah, I think there's maybe more bad news stories there than there is good news stories.
Funnily enough, you tend not to hear those ones. It's all about the comebacks. 5-0. The pair from Glasgow lead. Highland, next to Queensborough Gardens in Glasgow G12. It's a beautiful club. One with a long history, 118 years. One thing Highland cannot beat though is the length of time. And the clubs have been established, 1883 for Gala Waverly. from Gala Shields on the Kirkbright. Just to take it with him and stay with it. Change of hand.
Just beyond the jack's a good delivery here.
Won't be too unhappy with that. Not a bad place to be.
Opportunity for Ralph just to attack this with a yard or so down the forehand.
He's played a little under the line the last couple of balls.
His pace may hold him up. It's just gone.
Yeah, just drifting away.
Ryan could really tidy this up down the backhand side or down the right hand side of the rink as we look. If he can get just underneath his front one and move the jack, he puts it into a really difficult place for Liam to get to.
Just going to fall the wrong side and promote the wrong ball.
Yeah, but unlucky there, to be fair. Always a risk.
Yeah, most shots have an element of risk about them, and that can happen. It's also tapped it right in front, which makes it harder to actually get after. He's got his own black ball coming in. Well, borrowed one, borrowed two, and lies two.
Yeah, that was a percentage play though. He could afford just to be in there. Let's see Ryan attack this now. Yeah, that's a great delivery. Very well controlled.
It's beautifully played with the weight. Knew what the options were. 2 down to 1 up. Well, it's not easy to get after either.
Liam needs to open this, I think, here and just leave himself a chance.
What's he done? Perhaps he wanted the 2 balls. We can see that Stevens just walked past to try and move a little bit more. Cluttered some of the earlier ones, the shorter ones now out the way.
Ryan has a choice of shot here. He has the backhand play, which is lifting his own white one, or he could elect to go down the forehand. Forehand's maybe the harder shot to play, but let's see what he chooses.
It's a bit like chess as well. You're trying to anticipate what your opponent's going to do, so you know it might be with that forehand open. If you can just drop one in, even if you're a little bit short, it just muddies things up for your opponent as well. So it's always fascinating to see, you know, the pros and cons of the shots you want to play.
Yeah, sometimes your shot is dictated by not making it any easier for your opponent. You won't be too disappointed with that. If Liam does elect to try and promote the front red sticker bowl, then that could be in a good receiving position. This is tough, I think, for Liam.
he's going to try it.
And he's gone quick.
Wants his own ball.
Yeah, that was the danger.
Certainly 2 in there. Again, we've talked already about the danger, the risks that you have, but with risk comes reward, and with reward comes risk, and there just didn't quite work out.
Yeah, the only positive in that, Paul, is that he's opened it up for himself a little, so he has another chance. So whilst he's probably worse in the head as it lies, he has given himself an opportunity.
But the kind of shots that if you're 5-0 up, a little shake of the head and you think, okay, when you're 5-0 down, just puts that little bit more pressure on you though.
Yeah, certainly. William's a guy with huge experience though, so you know I would still expect him to be certainly within a yard with his last delivery. So let's see what he's going to face.
Ryan Galtieri, 27-year-old. Those distinctive white balls just drew up a little bit short. There's Liam Nicholson, well used to playing in the national championships, mixed pairs, junior singles and the pairs as well. It's his second appearance in the pairs.
Doesn't want to be on that one.
That's the wrong ball.
That's the worst possible result, I think, down there.
Well, that's promoted Highland. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3.
There's 4.
That will call on the umpire to measure. There's the nearest Gala Waverly balls. So we'll support the ball so it doesn't fall over.
Players just being asked to remove all balls that aren't in the measure.
Get the box measure. 2-man job.
Yeah, I don't think there's an umpire with long enough arms for this one.
Just trying to get the straightest of angle, establish the length, and then see. That certainly looks like it's going to be Highland. Let's see how close this one is.
That's certainly the closest one, so that looks like a count of 4. And the umpire will turn out the closest ball, or not.
Well, the umpire should turn out the closest ball to indicate the score. Certainly from those pictures it looked like Highland will get confirmation in just a moment. What we do know is that Gala Waverly are yet to get on the scoreboard, and that'll be concerning after 4 ends. Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri of Hyndland found the early form going their way. Doesn't matter what level of balls, what you're playing in, if you rattle off the first 4 ends, you're in a good place.
Shows you the impact the change of lengths had here as well, Paul. You know, they've gone slightly shorter than full length, and Highland are dominating really at the front end.
Yeah, Stephen's really come onto his game. He had a few loose ones. First 3 were loose. Going with his 4th ball of the opening end, and it changed things completely. So as we mentioned, 4 shots to Highland. That's a really good advantage, leading by 9-0 over Gala Waverly. And the father-son combo of Ralph and Liam. I've got a lot of work to do here. He's a very experienced player, Ralph Nicholson. 250 games played for the Borders in the Hamilton Trophy. That's some record.
It's an amazing record over a long period of time. I think we were saying 1978,
Yeah.
I think. Made his debut against one of the Fife teams I was hearing earlier. So, yeah, it's an amazing commitment. Hamilton Trophy's a super competition in Scotland. And to commit to that number of games, it's generally seven games a season, consecutive weeks. And then, you know, if you're fortunate enough, you've got another 2 or 3 weekends after that to get through. So it's an amazing commitment from a guy who clearly loves his bowls.
Yeah, the 32 Scottish districts, the best players from each going head to head. And 4's it's a great honour to be selected for your district. It's a higher honour to win it. South Ayrshire, I think, took the title this year. Memory serves me correct.
North Ayrshire.
North Ayrshire.
Yeah.
South Ayrshire were wanting to win it.
Yeah, they did, yes, of course they would. There's a great rivalry there, but South Ayrshire unfortunately fell at the quarter-final stage, only by a few shots, I think, to Bonaccord. So yeah, team from the north.
I better be careful when I leave here today. It's not a good thing to confuse North and South Ayrshire. I'll try and escape back to Edinburgh unscathed. Just scratching around at the moment, Ralph Nicholson. He is being outplayed by Stephen Borthwick.
On the positive side, he's given Liam some play, so whilst he is being outplayed, he has balls beyond the jack, and therefore when Liam wants to attack, then at least he knows he can, and he has an opportunity to move the jack to the back of the rink and reset a little. But the front end battle is pivotal. Yeah, you can see Ryan just running for cover there. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to come round, help cover the back. Often think it's a good idea to do that with your first ball rather than do it when you're forced into doing it. When you're lying 3, you've got 3 good balls.
Yeah, you take the pressure off yourself completely. Yeah, Liam going big here.
The first real full bloody drive we've seen. And he's just off mark. He's been playing with controlled weight pretty much all the way through when he's had to. But sometimes you just want to get that drive out the way, and sometimes it can even just take out some of the frustration you may be feeling.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't really have a controlled weight shot. Excuse me. He doesn't have a controlled weight shot there.
Yeah, he just wanted to have a little look and go a little bit further. Don't think it'll change the shot though of Ryan. Yeah, he's just coming round.
Yeah, just missed that off camera, but he missed it again there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it went very, very quickly. He just whizzed through.
Now Ryan has free shooting here, I think, on the forehand to draw another. He's not left anything hanging out.
That's a good ball. Make it 4. And now it starts to come into your mind. Do I go again? Do I try and draw to save? He's going again. And he's not got a result again.
It goes without saying he's in trouble now. You fully expect Ryan to add another.
Well, if he pops a 5th in here, as he fully expects to do, does he come round? He's done it. There's the applause. Well, there's pivotal moments in matches. He's currently looking at 5 down. He'd be 14-0 down after 5. And there are mountains to climb. Put you on the spot, Colin. What do you do? If you've had 3 drives, do you believe in yourself, or do you think, no, I've got to try and cut this down to 1 or 2?
You would think the percentage shot is to try and cut it down a bit. but he may go again. To be honest, it's a tight drive. He seems to be playing it down the forehand side. The angles aren't terribly good for him. He needs probably the front ball onto the jack to either kill the end or move it to the back of the rink. He'll be conflicted here in terms of what he wants to play.
Well, a few worse feelings in sport than feeling conflicted, and that's what you can almost see it running through his mind.
I think Ralph's trying to kind of talk him into the forehand draw. The danger is he's played 3 big, heavy-weighted balls down there. So how his weight control will be here, I don't know. But Liam's a class player, so I do expect him to make a difference here.
Plenty of experience, been in this situation before. The 25-year-old.
He's electing to try and cut this down.
Big moment in the game.
Needs to drop quickly now.
Wants the white ball if he can get it. Just fall on the right side of it. That's a good ball. He's certainly cut out 2. Depends how it's looking on.
Yeah, damage limitation.
That's an excellent shot by Liam Nicholson. Degree of difficulty, as you say, Colin, a lot harder given the fact he's going for 3 drives, missed them all. But that's what good players do.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's about playing the big ball at the right time, and whilst he may have, and we're not quite sure how many he lost there, but it was 2, perhaps 3. It's much better than the 5 that was lying against him. The head built up badly. A couple of efforts that were very close, but unfortunately didn't have any impact. But they need to reset here. They need to just score and change the length, change the dynamics of the game somehow, upset the rhythm of Stephen.
Yeah, they'll have their plan. What to do when they get the jack, but getting the jack's the problem. That's his loosest ball for a while. Now then, Ralph, the door was open for you. Not far away, looking on.
Great reply.
It's terrific correction. That looked terrible from the mat as well.
Everybody's been asking me if I am no contest.
It's probably the best line Ralph's picked, but he's just overplayed.
Turning out to be a beautiful morning in Ayrshire. It's an even better one for Hyndland at the moment. There's another little nick. That's terrific bowling from Stephen Borthwick.
Yeah, that's outstanding, and that's going to force Ralph into trying to change this again for Liam. Under the line.
Yeah. Nice weight for the job, but under the line, and just couldn't get where he wanted to be. So again, it's advantage to Hyndland. And the pressure continues on Liam Nicholson. So the 3 at the last end, they were lying 5. And it was cut down with a save from Liam Nicholson. But so far, Ryan Galtieri. It's almost just guiding the pair through at the moment. He's not been forced into the big shots as yet.
Ryan's not got a difficult job here at the minute. And that's just, I mean, I guess when it's going for you, it's going for you, but that's just fell into an amazing slot. The plant is now off on the front, making it even harder for Liam.
Yeah, because if he hits that blue ball square, the ball's split to the side rather than split on. Yeah. He's going to have to play it anyway.
Going big again. Yeah.
Exactly as you called.
That was probably the best target area Liam could have hit there, and he's been really unfortunate in terms of the result.
And that red stickered black ball looks a little bit lonely as well, so there's a target potentially.
Yeah,
just a tickling off.
Perhaps, I can't quite recall where Stephen's second ball finished. I know it went behind, but it'll be interesting to see who has the best back ball here if Liam's playing with that kind of pace. He must be comfortable with that because he's just drawing here. And another example of if it's going for you.
Yeah, it just closes that down, doesn't it?
It lands clean in the way.
Well, that forces Liam onto the other hand. Of course, the danger with that is you can nick your own away. I don't think there's too much to worry about back there if you're only going to lose a 1, so I would expect Ryan just to come at the head again.
Likewise, I would expect him to try and draw another here, or even if he's a couple of feet behind, he'll be happy with that.
Not counting at the moment, but that black ball is looking lonely.
Yeah, it's a stage in the game where, whilst the ball maybe perhaps looks lonely, it's one of those you wouldn't play, given where the scoreboard is. If you can keep it ticking over with no risk, then you're in a good place.
Needs something to happen, Liam. Can he tickle that one across?
Super effort.
It does start to wear on you as a skip when you're constantly behind. You're just trying to find a way to get that shot, just potentially to change the game, whereas Ryan is very relaxed at the moment. He could just play the positive balls.
Yeah, he's stress free at the minute. Ryan, great place to be if you're skipping.
It's lovely.
Again, not his best delivery, but not his worst. If Liam had thought about moving to the other side to try and just sit the jack high ball for second or even first, it's gone.
Yeah, there's a great angle of it, isn't it? I mean, it's just, you cannot get through that.
So it'll be the same shot on the forehand, trying to just lift his own or drop inside. It's better.
He's given this a chance. Can he take the jack with him? It's what he wants to do. Oh, he's unlucky. Well, he played a great ball and still cannot get a shot here. It's going to be 1 to blue, 1 to Highland. And they'll trot on up to 13. It's been a dominating opening performance, but it's just not working the way of Gala Waverly at the moment.
This becomes a test of character as well, Paul.
Yeah.
Players will need to remember why they're here. They're here to win a national title. They're down, but they're not out. Certainly from Liam's perspective, Liam has actually not played terribly badly here. He's had a few results that have gone against him, and he just needs to hope that tide turns.
I always think, Colin, and it's interesting in many sports, you know, if a football team's 3-0 down at half time, for example, I think, well, why can't we score 3 goals in the second half? They did it in the first half. In this situation, you've lost 13 shots. after 6 ends. Why can't you score 13 shots in the next 6 ends? I know it's different because the team against you can defend in different ways. It changes, but you've got to keep that positive mindset.
Yeah, the guys will have a mindset at the minute if they can get themselves on the board. I mean, they are scrapping around at the minute. It's clear. But if they can get themselves on the board and change a length, we've seen this. We've seen this from the third end here, haven't we? Where the Hyndland guys have changed the length and dominated. There's no reason why they can't score and go on a run of shots. Still 10 ends to play in this game.
Long way to go. On another day you get round it. Stephen Borthwick, Ryan Galtieri, from under 25 Scotland international players. Plenty of experience with Scotland. Up against a very strong father and son pairing out of the borders from Gala Shields. Ralph Nicholson and Liam Nicholson. And as a lead, there's nothing more frustrating than falling short. You think you're giving it that extra, you think you're just giving it that little bit more, and it's not quite working for you. Better weight, just outside the line he wanted.
It's a bit more open this time, Paul. A bit more, dare I say it, straightforward in terms of shot selection. It's back to the draw. So let's see how the skips fare here.
That's a good place. He's had to play a few heavier shots in the last couple of ends. He had a great draw to save. He's got a chance to pop this one in, just get ahead of his opposite number. Almost the same ball as his dad. That Colin looked a lovely line all the way, but you just had the feeling it didn't have the weight to support.
Yeah, it was a bit light out the hand. Liam's is already reaching the head. Yep.
Well, in some bowling competitions they have a shot clock you've got to play within a certain time. I don't think the person starting the clock would get a look in if Liam Nicholson was under those conditions. He's just so fast off the mat.
I think our camera team aren't getting that opportunity either, to be fair. It's quite refreshing to watch players play quickly, though. You know,
it is.
They're not hanging around. It's good for the spectators. It's better to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting to see across a number of sports that they're trying to reduce what you would class as the dead time. You know, that works nicely just to bring in his own. You know, golf is against slow play. A sport perhaps not well known to many in this country, baseball, have introduced timing changes that have taken around about 30 to 40 minutes off a game and not changed the game in any way, in any significant way, and has just made it so much more accessible and watchable. And you're right about balls, there's nothing worse than somebody who takes forever.
Yeah, it's it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to play against.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Oh, he's given that a good chance. That's looking on.
Not a lot of reaction from the players.
Doesn't really change the shot that Ryan's going to play. He'll just come and face onto that ball.
Yeah, if he can catch the inside of the ball and get in behind the jack, he almost puts it into an impossible situation to recover.
It's one of these shots, whether you're lying or not, you've got to play it because your opponent's got the opportunity to do so.
He's picked a great line here.
Giving us a really good chance.
He could be unlucky. He has.
Yeah. No, just trailed it away. And now Liam, just don't do anything anything daft here. It's yours.
Yeah, if he's lying too, it's a difficult ad, and there is a risk. He's going to have to hope this is not over the weight, because if he's over the weight, he's gave the shot away. Wow.
Well, that was gutsy.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. There are times. There's one, there's two. Well, there's many a player calling there would have proverbially stuffed that up the jumper and said, I'm leaving that alone, but he had a bit of confidence about him.
He certainly did, and I was quite shocked he didn't actually. I was quite shocked he went to play it, but you know, he didn't change it. I think he was maybe lying two before he went up, so no change. So we'll see a change in length here, I'm sure. See the mat coming up just a little.
I have to say, if that was my skip, I'd be saying, what are you doing? Nowhere near it, please.
Yeah, Liam's a confident player though, so you know he sees where the scoreboard is. If he could have added another, then you know, happy days. But he'll be delighted to be on the card, and he'll be looking for some consistent lead balls, and hope that the change in length throws Stephen off a little.
So Gala Waverly get on the card with a double. They trail now by 11, 2 shots to Gala Waverly, 13 to Highland. This is now fascinating. They've got the length they want. And the opening ball tells you a lot, and that is yards short. What that does is the opposing lead, as it opens up for you. If you think, if I can get this within a foot or two.
Well, he's getting a second bite of the cherry here.
Have to change his hand though. Again, Stephen will be thinking to himself, the door's been left open. Maybe running on a little bit, and that's always the danger of that short ball.
Yeah, this is a scrappy start to the game we saw, wasn't it? First two ends.
I find that this is the fascinating part of bowls for me. It's the leads, it's that little mini battle between themselves, and you are just trying to establish yourself at a different length. By, you know, foot, 2 foot, just gives you that go. But I'll tell you what, Stephen will feel confident.
Yeah, the lead battle's vital here now, because you know, Ralph has an opportunity here, and still has an opportunity to give Liam something to build on.
It's better, but it's still not that nailed down bowl, if you like. And now there's this one, although that gets a nice little stop.
Yeah.
But this is just a drawing head for the skips, and you don't often get both skips having the draw after all 8 balls of the leads.
No, the guys have got a couple of feet probably to draw there, so you would be surprised if any of those 2 balls are or the shot at the end of this end.
So white ball is about to join the fray here. And Galtieri. Often thought you got to be a good player to choose white balls because there's nowhere for them to hide.
There's absolutely nowhere to hide, no.
And if you are going to try and hide near the jack. It's not a bad effort. Looking on.
Yeah, if Liam can slip by either side here with good weight, he'll draw the shot. Just running on. Don't think he's setting this either. Not quite reaching.
No, just taking a little bit off rather than adding on. It's easy to do. Starting to come on the inside, can afford to touch his own if he stays. He'll just drift through. Well, it's a tale as old as time and bowls that if you've been on the rack and you win an end and you can change things, you've got to try and nail down that end as well, get back to back. Start making the scoreboard tick in your direction.
No, it's the scrappiest end they've had, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Sometimes these are the ends you want to win just to, you know, come on through. And he's short, even shorter than that's unusual.
Yeah, it's unusual, and it's you know, we talk about good bad bowls in this game, and that's taken a lot of Liam's play away here.
Again, it just depends on what angle you're looking at, whether it is the white ball with the blue sticker at the front that's lying, or whether it's the ball that's jack high.
It's almost impossible to tell from here, and I don't think I've seen any indication from the players. Straight at the jack.
Which would indicate that he's not lying.
Needs a break. Hasn't got one.
Cleared everything out but the two balls. Now that would suggest to us that the white ball is lying the shot. Well, he lost a two at the last end. They're looking to get it back here. It's just going to go too far. Just added on that little bit.
One conceded.
Well, if in doubt, measure. You can talk about it for a long time. And indeed, we will get that measure. Well, Gala Waverly really needed to go back to back ends there. Just a little bit too loose. Ralph couldn't find that nail down ball.
You just feel they needed a little run there, don't you? You need they need 2 or 3 ends just to build themselves back in the game, build their confidence. And that end there won't have done them any good from a confidence level at all.
Two
shots.
Well, there's been close matches for both these pairs so far. Gala Waverly beating Charleston 16-13 in the second round, got past Coat Dyke by 20 shots to 14. It's been just as tight for Highland. They beat Deantown 19-14, and then yesterday they edged it out 15-14. Very, very tight game against Denny to find their way into this Gents Pairs quarter-final. And so far it's advantage Highland. 8 ends played, 17 in total. Now the jack back to the preferred length. Just under. Started to come round now, looks better. He's got the weight on this time. I'll just punch his own through. That's unintended shot.
Yeah, for sure. But at this stage in the game, I think they won't be too worried about that. They've got one in, and they need to build on it. And they're getting a chance to do that now. Much better effort. Yeah,
that's well played, delivered it well.
I think that's much more like the Ralph Nicholson that many people know.
Yeah. Well, Ralph will be pleased with that one. Finally getting a little bit of chalk on the ball to mark it as a toucher. And from there, perhaps, this game can grow. Won't be shy with this one.
No need. He's in the area.
Not a bad effort. I actually thought he would have played with a little bit more weight. It's a tempting target, and it's now up to Liam to try and take some of that target away.
Yeah, he can narrow the head a little here, or even if he just sits the black one nice and square, he makes it a bit more difficult. His line looks good. Just pulled up short.
Yeah, it was an excellent line. So we pound of weight added. That's all it was.
If he's pushed through, he's close, but I don't think he's reaching again.
Nope.
Chance missed, you feel?
Yeah, I think that'll annoy Ryan as much as he gets annoyed. He's pretty calm. But it could frustrate him because he's just given the chance back to his opponent.
He has, and that corner's helped him and tightened up the head somewhat.
So good information being passed on by Stephen Borthwick. Did he skip? A little bit heavier this time. Won't be shy. He's coming round.
Just the top side of the line, I think.
Yeah, he's played that well. Got it down to 1.
Yeah, and a fairly safe draw for Liam too. He can afford to just reach here. just under the line, but I don't think he was actually making the trip.
Don't think he was here.
He certainly killed the forehand shot, which will force Ryan onto the back here.
There's not really a lot for him, dead draw.
It's a tough shot. You saw coming down this the last time, Ryan's balls weren't taking a terrific bend here, so that makes it even harder. He's gave it a chance.
Very narrow line, just can he nick that one? Cross!
Super try.
Ah. Well, if you think that Liam's going to settle for one, you don't know Liam Nicholson, he's going to have a little go here. Don't beat yourself, but try and get this second.
Yeah, just underline. You might see a discussion here on what the change has to be, because the last change didn't work for them.
Yeah. So the last change was bringing the mat up a bit and taking it a little bit longer. Just wonder whether Ralph will keep the mat at regulation this time.
It looks like he's keeping the mat back, so
just the second and one by Gala Waverly, picking up a single. They trail by 15 shots to 3.
there's two choices for him here. I think it's just over the pin or he goes full length. Or we could just do commentator's curse and play the same 3/4 length that we've been playing.
I'm with you. I think I would have been tempted to move it long. Having set the length.
Having said that, it's pretty full length, isn't it? Just can't see the tee.
Yes. Perhaps not quite full, but again, it's the dropping the first ball short and having to add rather than get it behind and subtract. I think that's been a key factor so far. Not a bad opening from Stephen Borthwick.
From Ralph, how's your weight?
Borrow it. It's not bad, but still quite what he's looking for. See, that's a noticeably different line.
It's the best line. It's about the pace here. Yeah, he's decent.
Yeah. Finished the course quite quickly.
Yeah, that side of the rink tends to run straight for quite a long time, and then the last 18 inches as the pace comes off, it just drops down quite sharply. And that's the reply needed.
That's perfect.
And with nothing behind, that makes Liam's job tough again.
Playing the big ball there, Stephen Borthwick. Well, that's the tone setter for the end, and more work for Liam Nicholson. Started as many players do, taken along to the bowling club by his dad, and here they are in the National Championships. She's up his own. He's not
not managed to set anything up terribly there, has he?
No, there's not an obvious plant shot on. Certainly, you know, even if he was to hit his own blue ball onto the black ball,
yeah,
the shot ball goes with it.
And this will be an interesting decision for Ryan here. Does he try and draw another at the risk of leaving one jack high and giving Liam play, or does he just go deep?
It's one of these ones, he was either trying to go deep and didn't get the weight, or he was trying to draw and put it out too high. Only he knows. I think this next one will come round the back. So just in case. That jack was to be sprung back. Hyndland wants something round here.
Decision time for Liam. May go big.
Well, he'll still have a ball to play. So I suspect if he's going, he'll go now. Still fairly gentle. Yeah. Just doesn't look good for them at all.
He may have given himself a chance there, Paul. He may have given himself a chance just to nick the blue ball clean out the head there without touching the jack.
There's just enough room to do that, but tell you what, take one heck of a shot. Be interesting to see what Ryan Galtieri does here. He does have the advantage of last ball.
I think he has to go behind. He has an option here. I think he either nicks the ball out, or if he goes under on the backhand side, then the plants may move the blue ball onto the jack. And of course, Liam, I think, has the best two back balls.
He does. This is a tough shot.
Just needs to drop a little.
Yeah, just going to run through. You could see the idea. You called it. He's trying to nick that ball away. Now, Ryan himself wouldn't be too unhappy if he could get a little touch on the jack and the trail, but he's just going to come through. At this stage, Colin, you're just quite happy to pop a 1 on your score and just keep your opponents down.
Yeah, you just got to keep that scoreboard ticking with ones, or at this stage now, losing ones.
Yeah. Seven irons to play. We have shared 19 shots, but rather unevenly. And Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri of Highland from Glasgow, commanding position of 16 shots to 3. This one plays in the semi-finals this afternoon, and the quarter-finals ongoing between Waverley against Slateford, Whitehill against Eastfield, or Solness against Stanley. I don't know if you noticed in the crowd there was somebody there with the Dallas Cowboys hat on. No idea how they were allowed in.
Yeah, I didn't see that. You need to point that out to me now. Good spot.
We'll get them removed. Right with you, Ralph, if you're going. It's not a bad effort. Again, if he'd just taken that and got it back, and there'd been a 2, that then gives something to build on, but it's just not quite working.
No, but it was a sensible weight to play it at, and it gives Liam play again, and that's the important thing as a skip, is having play. Ralph has another go at this. Put it past him to trail this round the corner for a 3. Top side. Doesn't want to move that.
That's the one he doesn't want. He has had better mornings, has Ralph Nicholson.
Yeah, for sure. They'll all have played well to get here. Sometimes on the day it doesn't quite work for you, whether it's the rink or the bowls. But you need to find a way. You need to change something, whatever that might be. Position on the mat. Just something that gives you a feel and a touch for it.
Again, we've mentioned it a couple of times. It's been a relatively stress-free test for Ryan Galtier. He's popping one at the back there. He's lying the shot.
Chance.
Yeah, it's well played. Excellent ball. This might be a decent reply.
He could get a horrible result.
Oh,
here.
he did.
Oh, he has.
On the plus side, he's opened it out. There's certainly 2 against him. Liam could see that clearly enough, didn't need to wait off the mat in a jiffy.
Nice, good.
It's very well played.
Yeah, so we said it was stress-free for Ryan. This is the first time he's gone up with, anything substantial against him.
3 against. That looked heavy. How's it finishing?
The body language said heavy, I think. Yeah, indeed.
Well, there is no messing about here. Liam has to draw a 4th and keep the pressure on. Oh, he's gone heavy as well.
Just a touch, but not a bad home if Ryan's over the pace. But you do feel he needs a count here somewhere.
It's one of these ones, you get the 4th one and then let your opponent mess it up if you like, and take it away from you. What you don't want to do is not take those chances.
It's the widest I think anyone's been on that side. Tried its best. So a chance.
We have toiled for 10 ends for a return of 3, and here on end number 11 looks like they're lying 3. Can they make it 4? It is a spare shot to be picked up.
Don't think that's made it.
Yeah, I think that's just slightly out. 1, 2, 3. Ryan's convinced it's a 3 because he's written it down on the card. And they're just discussing what they're going to do with the mat. So they double themselves up and move on to 6. Opponents though remain on 16. Highland ahead, 16 to 6. And mat placement and jack placement here could be game defining.
And this end is pivotal.
6 ends to play, 10 shots between. Well, it was a loose end coming this way last time.
He's still struggling with pace here.
It's so difficult as a skip because nobody sets out to play short balls. If you're a bowler, you know that. You're almost tempted to say, look, rattle one up. I'd rather actually see you in the ditch and take it back off.
Yeah, for sure. It's a difficult place to be if you're struggling, and you know there's Ralph's just been disturbed on the mat. That'll be someone walking across the back of the rink, I would think. And you know, you often don't see those players walking across the back of the rink when you're winning.
Yeah.
If you're losing, then mentally, you know, anything gets in the way.
You can see the hands there. Oh, Liam almost trying to force the ball just to pull up. Well, neither leaders particularly enjoy playing at this length in this direction.
I don't think this is right either. Good enough line.
This should be the number one.
Can't be better.
Well, no lead likes to leave his skip with 3 short balls.
No, for sure, and it happens, doesn't it? But if you put your eye on the score, it's not where you want to be at this stage. Having said that, there's room. There's definitely room for Liam to get in there. Both players are certainly good enough to put 4 within that shot ball as it sits at the minute. I think his weight was decent there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he was too bad.
Just flicking the ball back for his opponent. So running it out.
Yeah,
Can borrow. Yeah, that'll work.
I'll be delighted with that. Gives Liam a shoulder though, so he gives him the ball to sit, Jack to squeeze through to Ralph's. If he's clear, he's good. Put a cracker here.
He's got it. That's an excellent ball. That's his best of the match so far. It's a little higher. But again, from the Highland perspective, your opponent's lie 1, fine.
Yeah, you would concede 1 at this stage. You would try and tighten that up. What you don't want to do is change it in a way that gives your opponent the chance to score more. And the way that's lying just now, it's quite difficult for Liam to get in. He may have to elect to turn his own.
Shortest ball of the end. And he will consider that, having played such a good ball in his previous aways. Glance across at one of the quarterfinals by Ryan, but he'll keep his mind firmly on this one. Semi-final place certainly within the grasp now.
He's gave this a big try.
Oh, what a ball that is! That is superb, top class from Ryan Galtieri.
Yeah, super delivery, cracking weight. I think he may well have left Liam with virtually nothing here. This is tough.
Well, Ralph Nicholson has seen so much in all his time in bowls. Regular from the borders, but look at that. I mean, it was beautifully picked out. That's hard to get at. There are red sticker bowls behind, but the white bowl there.
The white bowl about 2 feet behind is the one that's killing Liam, I would think here. Well, what a try this is.
Oh. Well, gave it absolutely everything he could there.
You're often looking just to make a change there, even if you don't get the shot. Just, you know, open up the front in some way that allows you to play another shot. So he's, I guess his only consolation is if that ball stayed on, he may well now have the best back.
Yeah, I don't think he was coming anywhere near that.
No.
Yeah, the one shot is given. And again, arguably Collins just a shutdown end by Highland. They've not lost back-to-back ends in this game, and if you do that, you're likely going to get yourself ahead and win quite comfortably.
Yeah, for sure, given the fact that they opened up 13 for 0, didn't they? So, you know, in fairness to them, they haven't defended overly. They haven't really changed the game. But it's a big ask now.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the National Championships of 2023 from Ayrshire at the home of Northfield Bowling Club, Newton Park Bowling Club, the home of Bowl Scotland, and Gala Waverley. Have it all to do. It will be a comeback of an epic proportion up against Hyndland. That's the Glasgow club who are enjoying the early morning sunshine. It's a good opening ball from Ralph Nicholson. Something for him to work off.
Can he get the winner? He can, yeah.
Well played. I have to say, I thought that looked lively. It did. Actually, doesn't do any harm.
Another good ball from Ralph.
Yeah, he's well played.
Stephen needs a contact. He's just moving through again. Yeah.
Trying to draw on all his experience with the National Championships 7 times. First 2 at Queen's Park in Glasgow before they moved down to Ayrshire. He would love to represent Scotland in the British Isles Championships. To do so, they need to find a comeback. It's probably been his best end. Some applause there from Liam.
Yeah, it probably is his best end, Paul. I think if you're sitting in Ryan's shoes here, as a skip, that is not a bad head to play into. It's relatively wide. You can play in with a couple of feet to a yard, and any contact has to be a reasonable one for you.
Just a little bit thin.
Yeah, not the side he would want to err on there, probably. So, and ordinarily, if you were lying like that, I think Liam would be looking to cover the 3 at the back, but as the scoreboard sits, he has to add another.
Trying to do. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
It serves a couple of purposes, doesn't it? One, it's a shot, and two, it stops Ryan trailing that jack through the hole for 3 or 4.
He's played the same ball.
We must apply pressure here.
Think.
Let me go quicker here.
Yeah, so he's got his eye. He'll just reset.
He's missed it tight again.
Well, that is really unusual because with the ball sitting, as you can see from the screen to the right, it's almost begging to be to be put out that little bit high, and he's almost played 3 identical balls.
Yeah, and look, it's easy sitting here
Yeah.
saying that that is the right shot to play. Of course, you would want to err on the wide side. Is he back enough?
It's close,
It
but
may well be.
well, you can see there the 2 black balls that Ryan's looking at. He's cut inside with the first 3.
I think he has to go quick here, Paul.
Yeah. It's hard to see that he would do that much more damage.
Cannot afford to be tight again.
Looks better.
He may
What's
be
he
through
going to
the hole.
get? Through the hole, there's the nudge out.
Still 3 down, I think.
Well, you can see where his 3 white balls were, so if that just come across a little bit more, certainly 2 looking on 3. Just depends on which angle you're looking at. And here's a little glimmer of hope now.
Yeah, and in any game other than the quarterfinals of the national championships, this would be free shooting, I think, for Liam. Has he pushed it?
He needs to come up. He needs to get this.
He'll be disappointed with that.
Oh, that's a miss, and he knows it. Just dangling the leg above the ball.
Yeah. Tempting not to kick it harder,
Yeah.
I would suggest.
I think that just goes to show he may only be 25, but he's experienced a few years ago, and that might have connected. We've all been there.
Yeah, we might have seen that coming through the window of the commentary box here, I think.
It's all about context of the game, you say, just to pick up the extra shot there just gets you that little bit closer.
Yeah.
But they have picked up 2 good scores going that way in the last 2 ends, but the problem is they're not winning back-to-back ends.
Yeah. And in their mind, I think they couldn't have been far away from carding a 6 there, you know, if that one had gone through the hole.
Now what we have seen is struggles when we've played this way for both leads at this length. there's a great ball, and again, it's been the tail of the game, and we're not picking on Ralph. That first ball being short, and that time, unlike the last two ends, Stephen is right on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've not been able to apply the pressure after winning an end.
We'll get our scoreboard corrected in just a moment. It was 3 shots and not the 4, so it's 17 shots to 9.
I'm just encouraging Ralph to try and build ahead there. I think, you know, maybe not strive exactly for first to make a big change, but build the head so that he's got something to work with.
It's coming through that time, but again, just lands the wrong side of the ball.
Again, the angles just don't work for him. If the angles are slightly different there, the blue ball kind of goes out the head. As it sits, it goes onto the jack. Bit of the story of the game too, I think.
Oh, well short there. Doing the right thing here, Stephen Borthwick, just querying the shot. You know, some skips will say just draw, but he just wants to make sure. Doesn't want to disturb his own, but he wants just that bit of communication with Ryan Galtieri. Just say, you know, where can I tuck it round to? What are the dangers if I'm a little bit over? You don't want to do the work of your opponents.
He's gave this a big chance here.
He's come through to be happy enough with that.
Yeah, Liam's got to work with this, and I guess he has a choice. He either plays just a dead draw and he's drawn to what, 6-7 inches, or does he just try and flop the head open so that the blue ball is able to be taken out. Either way, he's got some play.
Yeah, 4 ends to play, 8 shots the difference. I'll tell you what, about an hour ago I think Gala Waverly would have taken that scenario.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think about an hour ago they may well have been starting the car, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not our day, but it just goes to show, as you mentioned, it's a long game, 17 ends, it ebbs, it flows. The 2 threes at end 11 and end 13 brought them back into contention. This could end up in a very good place.
Yeah. Liam up this forehand side again. He's in the area, Paul. It's a contact. Oh, that angle's still not moved for him.
He's finished jack high, but I think the main thing was to try and disturb those front two somehow to give himself that better chance.
Yeah, at least he can now nick the jack round the corner. If he's on the slightly wide side, he can come off his own and turn the jack. Ryan, I would think, would be trying to draw up to the jack high ball, but he's been caught on that short one. Again, if he can change the angle there, that blue one does start to look quite lonely in that head.
That's a big end if they could score here and get within 7 with 3 to play. They'd still have a chance.
Effort.
Oh, that's brought that across.
Now that might help him, you know.
Certainly, if the phrase turn inable is acceptable.
I think he's got 2 shots, to be fair. I don't know what Ryan's shot I would think is probably still coming up to the red ball, but if Liam can get anywhere near the split, he may be able to take the the blue ball out to the right hand side as we look.
Crowds building here in air as these games being played on the screen come to a climax, including ours.
I feel he's got to get another one in here.
He's just left that short. Now there is a chance here.
Yeah, there is. There's a chance for a multiple count, depending on how the contact goes. Right side, perhaps.
If he tucks that in a little bit, it's not a bad weight for what he's looking for.
Yeah, end over, I think. Yeah. Ryan declaring the head.
Yep. Well, Ryan's having no part of any of that. Yeah, he just... You looked at the shot and you think just needed to drift in that little bit. The last ball won't be played.
Yeah, the rink maybe worked against him there too. I think if he had the opportunity on a hand that was perhaps swinging a little bit more than that one is, then he could probably play it with a bit more confidence. As it was, he probably had to temper the weight a bit to allow it to drop.
Ryan Giltake against Stephen Borthwick of Hyndland quite happy to accept the single. Well, Hyndland led by 15-2. They've lost the last little portion of the match. 18-9. 3 ends to play. Oh, it's mysteriously short.
It certainly is, and this is where they've probably failed to take the initiative and get the first ball in. Ralph just disturbed again there, I think, by people walking across the back of the rink.
And that's the problem: as the crowds build, the movement increases. To me, that's a better opening ball from Ralph. Better being behind, just, you can put the brakes on a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And, chance now.
And the door is opening.
Good recovery.
Nice correction. Ryan just putting both palms down. As far as my knowledge goes, that has never affected a ball in its life, but it doesn't stop skips and players from doing it.
Yeah, very much like shouting at them.
Yeah, that's a great ball. Good reply. Yeah, hand gestures and volume have yet to disprove the laws of physics when it comes to ball. So again, all that Highland are looking to do here is just mix things up. Make sure that no big counts can come against them. He's going to get caught on his own.
Yeah, real scrappy head for 15,
yeah. Expecting a little bit better. And Ralph will not be short here. Message from Liam was to get up, make sure he's there.
It's not bad,
It's not quite there, but that blue ball is lonely. What's he catching? The ditch. Yep. It's the first one in the ditch today. It was a fairly controlled weight as well. I mean, it didn't zing its way into the ditch.
No, it depends what he was trying to play there, Paul. Whether he was, at the end of the day, you play a reaching shot on that, then
Yeah.
you're pretty much always going to go in the ditch.
Yeah, you were looking for either of those black balls just to the left there, I think.
He's looking for a contact. He's looking to consolidate the head, lose 1, 2 at most.
Well, he was looking to try and lift out the blue.
Yeah, he's chased that very early. It's going to get caught in the front, is it?
There's enough debris in front to bring him to a halt. Well, they need to score. They need to score big. You know, he's strong and positive to this.
It's a big edge.
Yeah, it's not getting the result there. Still available to him. And we just wanted to pop another one in. Tempting fate a little bit leaving that.
If you could add another couple here, 6 down, 2 to play. It's not the end of the world, is it? It's doable.
It's doable. It moves it from impossible to doable.
Yeah, at 13 for 0, you would have taken that, I think. Better effort. Yeah, very good.
Oh, it's terrific ball.
Touch the jack. Is it 2 though?
Well, it'll actually just be 2 for 2. Again, he could have just done withdrawing the shot without moving the jack. But again, if they can get on the card and just apply that little bit of pressure. Last ball at the end for Ryan Galtieri. Liam Nicholson has 1 to play. Has he saved his best till last?
I think he's just
Tickled a little bit of rough turf at the back there and stayed on.
I think he's got a chance to add another. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, it's difficult to say.
Yeah, there's the bit. You almost want to just draw into that and just turn the ball slightly to bring in what is a possible second shot to be a definite second and then third by.
I think what Ralph's looking at there is being able to turn the short black one maybe just onto the short bowl and rock the jack up a touch. You could make 3 or 4 that way. This might be a shot if it falls in. Well, who knows? I think 1 will be conceded here. I'm not sure if there's any more now.
As long as once depends on the angle you're looking at.
I suspect that was 1.
Yep.
See what the scoreboard says. Yeah, indeed.
Single shot. 8 up, 2 to play. There's not skipping the land that wouldn't take that.
Clear objective here, I suppose, is take it down the last. So the Gala guys must score.
Yeah, Highland get the shot. It's handshakes all round, and it's off to prepare for the semi-final. Up from 13-0 down. It's been a decent comeback. But it's not really been a morning for Ralph Nicholson to remember. I mean, the thought process going through his head now, Ralph's played a long time, he knows this, he's not having a great game. I think he'd be the first to admit that. But when you're on that mat and you've been struggling all day, you're convinced that you're putting on enough weight all the time, and it's just not working for you.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than this type of scenario where, you know, sometimes bowls is about touch and feel, and we talked about line and length. If you're feeling the ball away and it doesn't feel too bad, it's the hardest thing in the world to adjust mentally. But you know, we're on N16 now, and yeah, there's not a lot you can say to that. He'll know himself. So it's down to Liam to see if we can take this down the last.
Yeah, not the prettiest of ends from either lead, but he's doing just enough. Stephen Borthwick to make life easier for Ryan Galtieri. Stephen Borthwick, formerly a member at Highland, moved to Hyndland. Bronze in the Scottish Fours last year. Good singles player as well. Second time in the National Championships. Liam Nicholson trying to make something happen with his opening ball.
And it so often happens when your lead leaves them up, you're heavy.
Yeah.
Trying to overcompensate.
It's that mindset of I cannot be short, and indeed he wasn't. A high pressure game against Denny yesterday. They tried to fly 15 shots to 14. Been less stressful today. It just gets harder and harder. You look from the mat, you think, where is my room in there? And Liam's not looking just to score a single, he's looking to score certainly 2 or 3.
There's now a huge wall in front there. I think he'll chase this.
Yeah, it's time to clean house.
Yes. It's one of those that if you feel you're done, if you score a couple, it's still a really long shot.
Go down in a blaze of glory. Yeah, let's fly.
Yeah. I guess the only good thing about that was his weight, wasn't it? He's overplayed it on that side. Probably a touch of frustration in that too.
I'll just add to his frustration that he was offline. One that didn't really have a chance out the hand. He still has a final ball. But, he's popped off the rink to have a little chat. His day is almost done.
Yeah, we need to be quick to see this, I think.
Let's fly. That is the final ball of the match. Handshakes all round. That is the Highland pair of Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri, who will take their place in the gents pairs semi-finals. They were confident and comfortable from the off. They wheeled off a 1-3-1, 4-3-1 for a 13-shot-to-0 lead. And after that, they could pretty much relax, defend when they had to, dropped a couple of threes, and that was about it. Here's what's coming up later. Ladies singles, Emma Mitchell against Chloe Stewart. That should be a cracking game. We will have that live for you at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then it's on to the junior singles here in here. 5:15, Abby Harris will take on Robbie Earl. Colin, they just gave themselves too much work to do, and Ryan Galtieri's too good a skip. If he just has to defend and poke and just manipulate around the corners, he's not going to blow a lead like that.
Yeah, it's an easy day at the office for Ryan, wasn't it? Stephen was putting them in. Ralph, I'm sure by his own admission, will say he can play an awful lot better than that, and we know he's a better player than that. He never really gave Liam a chance. And on the march, you at this stage and this level, you can't afford to go 13-0 down.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of these things. A couple of things didn't quite go their way in the opening ends, and all credit to the Highland pair. They took full advantage, scoring a 4 and a 3 and ends 4 and 5, just to give yourself that advantage. The crowd appreciated the way they played. It's building up. It'll be good for the afternoon session as well. And it's just been one of these things. They can now think, well, they've only got a few hours to relax because they've got a semi-final coming up this afternoon.
Yeah, they'll prepare. They're off nice and early. Their opponents, I can see from the camera here, are still on, so they'll get a break. They'll be able to go and relax, grab some food, and get ready for the next round.
Well, first thing they've got to do is speak to Andy Marsh. He's ringside with Stephen Borthwick and Ryan Galtieri, the winning pair from Highland. Andy.
Thanks very much, Paul. Yes, I'm here with Ryan and Stevie. The result makes it look fairly comprehensive, guys. Congratulations. You got off to an absolutely lightning start. Ryan, how pleased are you with how that went?
Yeah, just happy to get the win. Been down here a few times and just failed short of getting to the medal stages. Now actually making the medal stages, just happy to be there and to play along with Stevie. It's good to have a good club teammate with us, so yeah, delighted.
Stevie, you said before the match that you were pretty content at being in the quarter-final stage. Now just one match from the final, that must be even more exciting, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Got to the semi-final last year, so just want to go one better again, so all in the next game. But just credit to the boys that we played out there as well. Give it a right good effort as well. It's not easy out here sometimes, especially when you're on sort of TV and stuff, so just want to kind of give a massive credit to the boys as well. They did really well for getting to the final.
Ryan, you get off to a really quick start, went 13-0 up. At which stage of the match did you think, okay, this is well in our control here?
Probably never. I don't think a game's ever over until you get over the line, to be fair. There's been so many times I've been in that position on the other side and came back and won, so I think you've just got to keep ticking the ends over and getting the shots in, and hopefully the luck stays with you, so yeah.
Stephen, the 12th end seemed quite vital. There was a moment where Liam managed to take away your closest ball and you won it straight back with the next one, which was a really important shot, it felt like, at that point.
Yeah, it was. It's all big shots out there, and as Ryan said, it's like even though you're kind of winning well, you just never just kind of let it get in your mind that you're winning well. You just want to focus on each end. I mean, even though we're doing really well, me and Ryan had a lovers tiff in the 15th end where we had a couple of choice words with each other, so you've just got to keep going and keep focused.
Well, congratulations, guys, and good luck for the semi-final. There's plenty to come up later on in the day. The next one is the ladies' singles at 2 p.m, the semi-final. We'll see you then.